you're only being unfair to yourself if you think or are trying to convince yourself that what you experienced wasn't real. It was real. You were in a relationship where the void and the torment and frustration and aggravation that you sensed you were feeling was real, and it was caused because the person that you were with had no intention of fully committing themselves to a healthy relationship. This is called narcissism. I call it sinfulness, but it's called narcissism, where used as a form of narcissistic supply, which could involve intimacy, just being used for intimate supply, company. You could be used for financial supply, somewhere to stay. You could be used as a way of the person getting some kind of status supply by being around you. But the main one's intimacy, where these people find a convenience. They shape and condition the relationship to be a convenience for them to come and go in at their satisfaction, and they try and accommodate yours as well. That gives them a sense of contribution. They try and navigate the relationship in a way in which everybody's satisfied, but there's no true intention of going beyond a certain baseline dimension within it. And the baseline within it is usually inadequate. It falls short of what a true relationship, companionship should be. But unfortunately, narcissized relationships are the fashion now, where people have a convenience between one another, where they'll come and go and get their supply and go off again to wherever their life is, wherever their interests are, and you stand by and wait. Now, I'm not talking about military people that are committed to their partner or people that have to go away to work. I'm talking about people that deliberately set up relationships as a means simply of supply, without any true intention of fully committing or devoting themselves to that purpose. They've got individual selfish things or patterns that they cannot break away from, which are not valuable in the term of where a relationship should be, and actually undermine the relationship, but are terminal addictions within that person's psyche that they will blindly hang on to, even at the jeopardy of the relationship. Now, are they ignorant of what they're doing? Probably not. They're probably more aware of the fact that these poor values, these undermining relationship values, these selfish inadequacies are more important to the individual in the long run than the relationship. Now, there's an element of importance towards a relationship, an element that keeps you aware of the fact that this person has some kind of integral psychological interest in you. You are meeting an end to needs as a form of supply and nourishment, nutrition towards those internal needs. But those needs ultimately will fall second to the selfishnesses, the parts of that person that will be more valuable to that person than the relationship. And these values will not be so clear at the start. They surface after the relationship has fused, and micro-incrementally you'll begin to see values come out in that person that are completely contrary and objective in a negative sense towards the relationship. Your torments, your troubles, your objections towards these things will take a lot of courage to bring up at first, but as you go along and your head begins to swim, you begin to ask questions about why these things are happening. You may consult friends. You've examined where you're coming from. Is it legitimate, or are you just being selfish yourself? There's this void, this unexplainable void that you've never experienced before, that is causing you to have serious conflicts within yourself as to what is going on in this relationship. It's quite hard to explain because the person's turning up when they say they will. They're playing all the roles that they need to as far as they can at a level that's acceptable within the relationship. But at the same token, there's a void, there's an absence, there's an illegitimate space that causes doubt within your mind. There's things going on that you're not aware about, covert behaviors that can be hidden on the surface but cause impact underneath in the mind. It's causing an impact. These covert behaviors that just do not represent somebody that's committed to a proper, healthy, give, take, care and share relationship. Now, terms within the relationship can vary. There's all different levels of terms and agreements and things that we're going to go along with. But what you'll find is a gradual, progressive disintegration of certain terms that originally were acknowledged as applicable and will be followed. These conditions will be followed. There's an erosion. What you'll find is a pulling back, a disintegration of commitment only in certain micro-incremental ways, and they're very hard to tell that they're happening because the person's trying to condition you to their narcissism. And their narcissism is a delineated line, spiritual line that's drawn in this person's psyche where you'll never reach that intimate part of that person. And that's the space and the absence that you're feeling because you're trying to have a relationship that's building into something where people can be close and functioning together as an asset. There's this debit that keeps haunting you and plaguing you and tormenting you and causing you anxiety and fogginess and mental health issues, to be honest, in the long run, that you just cannot put your finger on. This is called sinfulness in the theological sense, but narcissism in a psychological sense could be some other form of personality disorder, one degree or another. May not be full-blown narcissistic diagnosis disorder, but elements of it. So what do you do? If you have tried to negotiate with this person and the torment in your mind begins to reoccur, and you're tired of allowing your faithfulness and loyalty to blind you from the reality of the fact that this relationship isn't working, walk away. That's your superpower. You'll be doing that person a favor as well. You'll be sending a message that most people won't send, that what you're doing, your covert narcissism, is absolutely unacceptable.